Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Baldy in the Bun. This is episode 4. It was supposed to be episode 5, but I never posted the Night of Champions predictions, which I won in a 7-5. So you are looking at your new Baldy in the Bun champion. We're working on getting a belt.
Well, we're working on getting a belt, and it's cumulative. So right now, do you want to do it by pay-per-views?
I want to do it by pay-per-view. Every pay-per-view we do predictions, and then whoever wins gets the title until the next pay-per-view.
Well, it's right, but what I'm saying is it should be like a season from WrestleMania to WrestleMania. And then you get to hold the belt for a year.
Hell no.
All right, so you get to hold the belt for a month?
Yeah.
No, that's stupid.
You want to just do the belt at WrestleMania?
I want to have every pay-per-view be like let's use.
So you mean like if
season.
I win Hell in a Cell, that's a point for me.
Correct.
And then if you win Money in the Bank, it's a point for you.
And then whoever wins the most pay-per-views holds.
That's not how it works in like.
That's how it works in the NFL.
That's not how it works in wrestling.
That's how. So what? It's not.
But this is a wrestling podcast. It's not a sports podcast.
Okay, it's a sports entertainment podcast.
A sports entertainment podcast. But that's how they do it in sports entertainment.
We don't talk about anybody else. We talk about sports entertainment.
Sports entertainment.
There are other places that like to call it wrestling. We call it sports entertainment.
I call it wrestling, but I don't
We
really.
call it sports entertainment.
You call it sports entertainment.
Okay, and they're WWE superstars. They're not wrestlers.
They're wrestlers.
WWE superstars.
Cody Rhodes said wrestlers when he first came.
Yeah, but they whipped them into shape.
Did they?
Oh yeah.
Don't say that.
Uh-huh.
Don't say that.
What?
No.
What whipped them into shape?
Yeah, well, one, don't say that. But two, that doesn't even make sense.
Why?
Because he still would say wrestlers. I guarantee it. He just hasn't had to say it. He haven't had a promo where it came up.
No, you're right. But they're superstars.
Whatever. Look, agree to disagree.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
So am I. But so I am your. We're doing it by pay-per-view. Like we're gonna do.
Okay, if you want to do it that way, we'll do it.
Well, that's how it works with actual titles.
Okay.
Seth doesn't hold his title until WrestleMania.
No.
Actually, that's how Roman's works right now because he hasn't defended it since WrestleMania.
Okay.
And we've been like 6 months.
If you want to do it, we'll do it that way.
All right, so we will be facing off at Money in the Bank. I am your current Baldy in the Bun champion, but we'll see later in the year how that goes. Speaking of Money in the Bank, that is July 2nd, I think.
Yeah, it's that, and it's weird. It's like 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, because it's in London, which is a little bit before Saudi Arabia, which throws us off. We'll watch it outside. So, speaking of Money in the Bank, the actual Money in the Bank matches. Men's Money in the Bank matches is completely filled up. The women's, we're waiting on one more confirmed participant. Men's Money in the Bank, it's Ricochet, Butch, LA Knight, Santos Escobar, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Damian Priest. In the women's, it's Zelina Vega, Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, Io Sky, and Bayley versus one more person that is yet to be announced or qualify, however you want to discuss that. We also have Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio confirmed for Money in the Bank, and also Seth freaking Rollins versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship. And those are the only 4 matches confirmed. I think we're probably getting around 6 to 7 matches, so we're probably waiting on 2 more.
Do you want to do the predictions now, or do you?
No, we're gonna do that like right before.
Okay.
But we're just gonna I just wanted to talk about like what actually is going on. What do you think about the men's Money in the Bank match?
I think it's good. I think what I like about it, besides Priest, I just like it because it's not really. It's mid-card guys,
right?
More than it is,
See, that's what I agree with you. But there are some people saying it doesn't have any star power. That's the point.
No,
The point of Money in the Bank is to elevate someone.
Right.
I think that the choices were good.
Choices, I think the obvious choices are going to be either Priest, LA Knight, or Shinsuke. Those are the top 3, I think.
Ricochet's in there to have a moment. He's not going to win. Ricochet's in there to like jump off a ladder.
He's going to be your... I can see him going after the United States Championship at some point.
I want him in a... Oh, he's on Raw.
Right.
That's another weird thing. So Money in the Bank, you can go on both brands. It's almost like a free agent contract.
Right.
I assume.
You can go out there either.
Right. So actually, any championship. Theory tried to cash in on who? Who was it at that point? I think Seth. Seth Rollins was the U.S. title.
Right.
So
yeah, you can go after.
Yeah, you can go after any belt now. But that was the first time it happened. Technically, it could have happened any time. But so yeah, I agree with you. I see LA Knight, Priest, or Nakamura winning. But I mean, overall, I think it's going to probably be a good match. I mean, all the people in here are good.
Yeah, I like the fact that they didn't go for, they didn't put somebody like. I can't say him. I don't know what I'm trying to. Like Brock Lesnar.
Right.
Brock Lesnar in it. You know what I'm saying? Even though he'll probably come out and smash everybody like at some point, but whatever.
He wasn't even in the match the year he won it.
I know It's so.
The Vince era was so weird, dude. It was so weird. I mean, also storyline wise, I mean, Santos Escobar, Damian Priest are LWO and Judgment Day, so they'll probably have something to do with that.
Priest is going to be leaving Judgment Day, I think, soon.
I mean, let's discuss that. We haven't really had a chance like this where we're in between pay-per-views to just talk about
the beginnings of a little bit of a rift between him and Finn.
Mm-hmm.
Finn getting when Damon fought Seth for the belt on Raw, and Finn got involved in the match, and ultimately Damon Priest lost. He kind of blames Finn Balor, and then was saying on this past Raw, like, stay out of my business. Let me handle my business. Yeah. So you're starting to see the beginnings of where I think Damon Priest is gonna. I think they want to push Damon Priest. I think they.
I agree with you. I don't think they're gonna break up the Judgment Day. No, I think they're bringing in JD McDonough.
They're setting it up for that, and then they're gonna oust Damon Priest.
I think Damian Priest is gonna leave.
I think he's gonna say it's time for me to do things on my own.
I agree. I think that you're 100% right. I like that.
I think he's gonna have a rift with the Judgment Day. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's gonna be like, I like what you like. I thank you guys, but I'm going to do my own thing.
Yeah.
Also, Butch randomly in there for no reason. Also, Shinsuke Nakamura and Ricochet seemingly have a sort of rivalry thing with Bronson Reed as well.
Right.
That's weird. No title involved there. But just three guys going at it. When's the last time we had a triple threat match for no championship?
Oh, I don't know.
Probably so long ago.
Yeah. I don't know. I think to me, Bronson Reed is a very viable opponent for the Intercontinental Championship because I think his size and the way he wrestles would be.
I would like to see him versus Gunther. I would like to see a match versus him versus Gunther. Let's move on to the women's Money in the Bank match. So this is a little bit harder because we don't have everyone.
Right.
But, I mean, that kind of brings us into who could be that sixth person. So it's Zelina Vega versus Becky Lynch versus Zoe Stark versus Io Sky versus Bayley versus whoever. The first thing is Io Sky and Bayley. They're clearly doing something with, like, breakup damage control. It's not working.
Yeah,
they've had it for, like, a year and a half.
In the beginning, it worked well.
In the beginning, but they haven't won anything.
No. And I think Sky is... I think they want to start pushing her. She's a good technical wrestler, and I think they want to push her.
And they gave her a chance against Bianca.
And plus, what I don't like is actually, I would like to see her go by herself, but the women's tag division is just very weak right now. And
either way, if you break up, well, that's the thing. Even if you do break up Damage Control, you can just have Io Sky go off on her own, and then have Bayley and I forget the third member's name.
She's hurt right now. Anyway.
Is she hurt? I don't know.
She wasn't on SmackDown last night, so.
Oh well, either way, the third member and Bayley could still be a tag team, theoretically.
The other ones they're been a tag team for a while, I think.
That's true.
Like down in NXT, they were.
Oh yeah, you're right. You know
what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's like you're breaking up a good tag team, but I don't know. If Becky Lynch wins it, I'm kind of going to be like, really.
I mean, it's like one of the only things she hasn't done.
Yeah, but
I think it could
I've
happen.
soured on her for some reason. I don't know why. She used to be one of my favorite wrestlers.
She was.
She was going through the whole
gimmick.
It was before she got pregnant and she left.
Well, yeah.
But I don't know. Since she's come back, it's just a very, I don't know.
The women's Money in the Bank match does not have a great track record.
No.
I think it's existed for 6 years, and 5 out of the 6 winners have held the briefcase for less than a day.
Really?
Yeah.
What? It's like they automatic.
It's 3 of them cashed in at Money in the Bank. One of them cashed in on the Raw after Money in the Bank, and then Asuka won the one that was the pandemic, and then Becky was pregnant and she gave her the title.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, I remember that.
So that there was one, and I think who was it? Was it Liv Morgan or was it Carmella that? Oh no, Liv Morgan cashed in the same day.
Right.
It was Nikki Cross won it and then cashed in the same night. And then there's one other person I think that cashed in the same.
No,
night.
I think you're right. Carmella, I think did it, or she might have done it.
Carmella waited. I think. Well, Carmella was the first one to win it.
Oh really?
Yeah, because it was James Ellsworth dropped it to her. Remember?
Okay. Yeah.
Which was stupid, also. James Ellsworth.
What's he doing?
He's on the Indies, and they announce him as he pinned AJ Styles twice.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Because they had that whole. It was when AJ and Dean Ambrose were feuding, John Moxley, whatever you want to call him.
Right, Dean Ambrose. WWE, he's Dean Ambrose. He's not Moxley.
I'm saying whatever the viewers want to call him.
We are a WWE show.
We're a WWE family here.
Okay, that's what
we watch WWE in this house.
That doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
No.
So Dean Ambrose just disappeared.
Yes, Dean Ambrose is no longer in the WWE.
Okay.
And when he comes back, you think he's coming back as John Moxley?
No.
He's coming back as Dean Ambrose.
Actually, Pat McAfee, remember when Seth fought Roman at the Royal Rumble 2 years back, and he came out in the Shield outfit?
Yes.
Pat McAfee said Mox.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Pat McAfee was he was the good old days with the Shield, Rollins, Roman, and Mox going around, something like that. It's some clip like that. I'll show you later.
All right.
But it's something like that. Moving on, Cody Rhodes, Dominic Mysterio. This is going to be hilarious.
This is going to be a squash match.
I don't know.
Unless Rhea gets involved somehow.
I think Rhea will get involved.
Do you think that there's a female that comes out and gets involved?
Unless it's Brandy Rhodes, I don't think so.
Oh, no, she can't come back. She's pregnant.
She is?
No, Alexa Bliss is pregnant.
Oh, yeah, she is. See, I like that idea because it can set up a new feud with Rhea, but I don't know who it would be, is the thing.
Could be somebody that we're not thinking of.
It really could.
It's like an NXT, somebody you can bring up from NXT.
Oh, there is that the NXT Women's Champion they brought up.
They can do that for a push.
They could. That's not bad.
Because what's there's going to be a point in the match. There always is. Outside the ring, inside the ring, I don't know where. But Cody's going to go after her, and she's going to step up.
Oh, 100%.
And he's going to do that whole, I can't hit a woman thing. And then all of a sudden, music and whoever.
Everyone's like.
Yeah. So-and-so comes walking out, and then that's.
Judgment Day has a huge show.
Because Rhea doesn't have.
Rhea doesn't have a match
right now.
No, she does not. Well, she beat the hell out of Natalya, and we haven't really seen her interact with anyone.
Well, no, they're giving her. She's running.
Well, the thing is that if we're doing 7-match shows, you really can't have every championship represented on each show, and that sucks in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 championships on the the card. That are active.
Yeah.
So, and Roman's not fighting, so that's basically 7. And then, what are they doing with the women's tag belts? They put them on Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, which I think is smart. Objectively, they're the best tag team.
Well, yeah. I think they're...
Name them. Just fucking name them.
Yeah, you gotta get if you're gonna make them like I hate the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens thing. I hate that Sami Zayn comes out to his music and then
Kevin Owens comes out to his
music. The only
music.
thing that's cool is that Sami Zayn's music and when they do the shit is cool. But
call him Zayo. Like it's that simple.
do something. It's just at least like. You know, when they put the Undertaker and Kane together, it was the Brothers of Destruction. You know, it was.
But they're still Undertaker and Kane. You can still like. I don't understand why they can't.
Like if you're gonna make them a formidable tag team, then you got to give them a name. Like you can't. Like it's like you had the problem with the belts. It's the same thing with tag teams. Give them a name. If you're gonna make them a tag team and you're gonna give them longevity, you got to give them a name.
I agree.
Like if it's like a one-off. Where, you know, like on Monday Night Raw, it's like, oh, they're going to team up so-and-so and so-and-so against so-and-so and so.
That's different.
They're both singles, but they're teaming them up. Then that's different. But,
like the storylines just happened to cross that week. That's a different thing.
Right.
But if you're going to have a long-term tag team.
Yes. Especially if you're going to make them champions.
Yeah.
You got to give them.
There shouldn't be tag team champions that are unnamed.
Right. If you're going to push it that way. But that's just me. I like... And, like, you know, they've been running with the Ronda Rousey Baszler for, what, the better part of a year now? A little bit more? Mm-hmm. You know, so give them a name.
Give them a name. It's like they're both UFC fighters. Do something with that. Like, it's not that hard. It's really not that hard. Speaking of tag titles, though, have you heard the rumor? Like, they're going to do redesigns of all the titles. I don't think we're surprised if they do tag titles at this point. So my idea is if you're gonna split the belts, then, and we know that Pretty Deadly just won on SmackDown to get a shot at the titles. I'm assuming the SmackDown titles, but we don't know. We don't know if they're going for both.
Why would they? I don't see how you just fight just for this. So if they win, they just win the SmackDown titles?
Theoretically, they did that with Becky Lynch back when she had both belts.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna. I think it's kind of absurd. Like to me, if somebody beats Roman Reigns right now, you get every single one of his belts.
all three of his stupid belts that look exactly the same.
Yeah,
he's got a blue and a black one and a yellow one. What the hell are we doing?
They do all look the same. But just like, but you just came out with this gold one. That's it. Whatever the new one is, get rid of the other ones, and that's it.
The idea is that here's my idea. Here's my pitch. Imperium beats Sami Owens and KO. Zayo, Sami Owens, whatever you want to call him. Right. Sami Owens.
Right.
Call him what you want to call him, but Imperium wins. They come out and they're like, "This is not serious enough. We're not running around with these stupid Caliphate titles. We're introducing our new titles. Please give us all of your respect. Give our new titles all of your respect. The Ring General." And that's how they introduce the new tag team titles.
What should the strap be?
The strap should be black.
Okay. I agree.
Or if you want to do white, do white. I don't care.
What color should the metal be?
Gold. Put silver in there, but have a different design. Like have a unique design. I don't want those stupid round plates. Don't do those stupid round plates again.
No,
I hate the round plates.
Right now, I think the tag belts look too simple.
Yeah.
It looks like they just took like a piece of leather and slapped some metal on it.
Well, the thing is I hate the actual design. I hate the Trojan helmets on them.
Yeah.
I hated it when I didn't like the black one with the bronze metal. I don't think they've looked good since I've watched wrestling. I don't think they've looked good. But they could. I mean, I liked the NXT tag titles.
Like this was a good.
Let me see. Yeah, like something like that. Do something like that. It's the old ones. Yeah, there you go.
Like I think the old ones look good.
I don't hate the black and bronze as much, but I still think it should be gold. I don't think there should be like bronze titles in WWE. That's just my opinion. But I never liked the Trojan helmets design. I just want like normal championships, dude. Just change them and then we're done. Realistically, because they redesigned the US and Intercontinental titles not that long ago.
Well,
I don't think
I got a supposed leak of what they're gonna look like.
Supposed leak. Mm-hmm. Let me see. See, that I don't really hate. I don't like that it's round, but I mean I can deal with that.
But what a lot of people. That'd be interesting if this is what it is. I don't mind that so much.
So, but then it becomes
what a lot of people are upset with, and I think it's comical. It's like it's just their logo on smack in the middle of a. It's like
that's the point.
That's
exactly the point.
That's what it's supposed to be. Like, what are you talking about? Because and there has like I just don't understand like what people are.
Look, there are good look. Look, the AEW title has a massive logo on it. The ROH title has a massive logo on it. It's just that's how it works.
Dude, the AEW has two belts with
like it's TNT. Stations. Like a TNT title and a TBS title.
A TBS title. Like that would be a USA title, like a legit, like not the US championship, a USA network title or a Fox title.
Right, that would be stupid.
It's horrible. Like, but but they're getting it's their logo is like but their belts have a freaking logo
of a different company
of a TV station.
Right.
I
don't hate that. Like, I don't hate that like leak design, but I still think I don't love the round.
No, I don't like the round either.
I don't like the round.
But what the round does though, is it really differentiates from.
I don't disagree with that.
That's the tag belt then.
That being said, theoretically, if that situation goes down, Imperium wins. They unify the titles, actually make it one. Like 2 belts instead of 4.
Right.
That leaves SmackDown without their tag belts.
Right.
So then they make new tag belts. Like Pretty Deadly goes to Adam Pearce, whoever, and they're like, "We want tag belts, man." And then Adam Pearce was like, "You're right." And then they're
gonna have to.
They'll do a tournament.
They're gonna separate. What they really want to do is have both.
Both brands have 4.
Brands have different looking belts.
Right.
Different looking.
Now, that being said, put the women's tag division on one show. Like, just put them all on Raw, because that's longer.
Yeah.
Put all the women's tag teams on Raw, because it doesn't make any goddamn sense to have 2 women's championships on the main roster when there are no women's tag. There are no women's tag teams.
No.
I mean, you basically just have the 4 that are that were in that match to win them, and none of them are even named. So,
again, we just went over that. So
okay, if you're gonna do Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green, name them. If you're gonna do Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, name them. If you're gonna do Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan, name them. Damage Control was the only team in that match with a name.
Yeah, right. We discussed this already.
I know, but it pisses me off so much.
Kind of like the belts did.
That's the only thing that's still wrong that they're doing right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, but again, they're not going to just do it all at once just for no reason. They have to build the storyline into it. So.
Right, exactly, and I'm completely fine with that. I'm willing to wait because I've already been waiting. So, I mean, also Seth freaking Rollins versus Finn Balor.
We didn't really go over the Cody Rhodes. Oh yeah, we did.
Well, you kind of did. What about Seth versus Finn? Now, the only reason I could ever see Finn winning is if Damian wins. But if Damian wins Money in the Bank,
Finn's not winning. They're not. They're Finn's
also,
not winning.
Why would you schedule this before the result of Braun Breaker versus Seth for the title on NXT next week? Did you hear about that?
No.
Braun Breaker called out Seth on Twitter, and he was like, "Face me for your title." And then Seth was like, there was a video of Seth on NXT being like, "Okay."
Is not going to beat Seth.
No, I'm not saying he is, but I don't see what but I don't like the idea of having like a match set up for like a random NXT show and then also having like the Money in the Bank match already set. Like I don't get the idea of setting up a match and having it confirmed. Because that completely throws out any like it wasn't gonna happen anyway. I knew Braun Breaker wasn't gonna win the title. I wasn't suggesting that, but I'm saying I don't like the fact that they even set it up because it completely throws any chance out the window of it happening. Because we know that he's not gonna lose it to Braun Breaker if he has a match with Finn Balor.
Yeah, we also thought Cody Rhodes was gonna win in West.
We also thought that, but there was also like we were also saying, is he?
I wasn't. Dude, I thought he was gonna.
I was.
I wasn't. I was. I was almost 100% like.
So was that the biggest shock for you since Brock beat the streak?
Yeah.
At WrestleMania,
first? Was it Brock beating the streak, or when he just squashed Cena? Where did he squash Cena?
It was like the Royal Rumble or like a SummerSlam.
That was a surprise to me. Just seeing Cena get the crap kicked out of him, but whatever. But
you know what it was? It was. I think it might have been the Survivor Series before the Royal Rumble, before WrestleMania 31, when it was Brock versus Roman in the main event, and Seth cashed in.
Okay.
I think it was that. That's how it went because Brock retained in that match.
That was a big surprise
Brock
Seth came running out at the end.
Right. Well, Brock retained at that Royal Rumble against Cena and Rollins because Rollins still had Money in the Bank at that point.
Right.
And then the whole thing went on to WrestleMania, and then Seth cashed in on them on Brock, technically.
I didn't. When did this happen? Because they didn't talk about it on SmackDown at all.
When did what happen?
The Seth Braun Breaker.
Oh, it was NXT. It happened on NXT. But yeah, I don't think the only reason I could see Finn winning is if Damian wins Money in the Bank, because then it could become like, oh, if you go cash in on Roman, we can hold both titles, and then they'll repeat the Batista Triple H storyline. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's my only. I don't think that's gonna happen though. Mainly because I don't think Damian Priest is gonna win Money in the Bank.
Right.
Now that being said, let's move on to the biggest thing in wrestling, the bloodline.
Yeah.
So, what happened on SmackDown last night, Dad? Give him a recap.
All right. So, just with that, so Roman Reigns comes out with Solo and Paul Heyman. They're in the ring. Jay comes out, and he's pacing back and forth. Basically, Roman is like, you're the next in line. We set you up to be the next guy. This and that, and so what's your answer? And all of a sudden, the Usos music hits, and Jimmy comes out. Jimmy's like, no, he says, your biggest problem is your brother. Music hits, Jimmy comes out. He's like, don't listen to him. He's the problem. Everything he's saying is a lie. Come with me. And again, he's pacing back and forth. Roman says, no, and then Jay's like, he's like, it's either me or him. Talking about Paul Heyman. He's like, if I'm in, he's got to leave. He's like, no, he's my wise man. He's like, when you can pick whoever you want to be your wise man. He's my wise man. He's mine. He's has nothing to do with you. He's just here for me.
Right.
And so Jay's like, Jimmy came out, and then he's like, he's lying. He's trying to keep us down. He's trying to pit us against each other. And he's like, listen, it wasn't even my idea to make you the second hand man. It was the wise man's. He was the one that got me thinking about that and talking to me about it. So it's not the wise man's fault. He's like, there was one person that was against you being, the right-hand man, and that was your brother.
Ooh.
And so then Jay's like, is this true? Is this true? And he's like, yeah, it's true. And then Jay's like, after like a long pause, he's like, then that's it. You've been trying to keep me down. You've been trying to do this. You've been trying to do that. He's like, and Roman's the one that's been putting me up on this pedestal, putting me in main events, putting me in main events at WrestleMania. He's like, that's it. You're out. And then long pause. And then I'm out too. Boom.
Super kick to Roman.
Super kicks Roman. Paul Heyman with his dopey face, which I love. Which I just love it. He's so good at what he does. Then Solo comes over and Jimmy kicks him, right? And then they both kick Solo. Solo's down now. And then Roman gets back up and they both kick Roman.
Like a double super kick.
And that's how it ended. That was it.
Every time the bloodline is all on screen together, it's cinema.
Oh yeah.
Every time.
The storyline is great, but the Usos are going to be the biggest bit. They are going to win back those titles. They are going to put the belts on them again. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Not those belts, the new belts.
I think another... I don't know. We're putting... What'd you say?
I said not those belts, the new belts. The SmackDown belts.
I don't think you're going to see Sammy and KO last too much longer.
I actually agree with that.
Because I think they're pushing...
When the bloodline story ends...
Because what they're pushing now is KO is kind of... has points where he kind of loses it and goes crazy.
Ever since Ezekiel, he has never been. He's just had anger issues.
Oh, that was when he was like,
"That's Elias."
That whole story.
It was so funny.
Though. But
that's Elias. You can't tell that that's Elias.
It was so good because it was. But it's like
it's Ezekiel.
But
the split screen segment.
I think they're gonna have. I think they're going to set up a KO Sammy storyline fighting against Feud.
I don't want them to fight again. They've done it so many times.
Yeah, but they were never tag team champions.
Right, but I mean, like, well, when they lose it, maybe. But, like, I don't want the split to be the reason they lose the titles. I want them to split because they lost the titles.
Like it's somebody's fault?
Not like it's somebody's fault necessarily. I just want them to be like, damn. Well, I don't even know if I want them to fight.
I don't want. They're going to split though, and look, KO's he's a better heel. He just is. I like him better as a heel.
I like him both ways, honestly. I think he's just good. I just like watching. I like watching him wrestle. I just think he's funny.
Yep, for a big man, he's good.
I think when the bloodline story ends, their story will subsequently end because their story was so interweaved with the bloodlines.
Mm-hmm.
And even now they're still asking about the bloodline and they're like, we don't care.
Yeah.
Okay, where do you think that, like, how do they settle this in matches with the bloodline? Because we don't know the order of the pay-per-views. We know up until
it's going to be Roman and Solo versus the Usos.
I agree with that. However, I want this to end with Roman versus either Jimmy or Jay in Hell in a Cell with the other Uso as special guest referee. Whichever one you want to pick. I want Jay in Hell in a Cell with Jimmy as the special guest referee because Jay was one of the first first person that Roman defended his title against.
Right.
So I think that would be the best option to have Jay in Hell in a Cell.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, honestly, whoever you want to win can win that. If you want Roman to keep it, whatever. If you want Jay to win it, fine. That's fine with me. But so to get there, here's my idea. We have at Money in the Bank, it'll probably end up being Jimmy and Jay versus Solo and Roman at Money in the Bank. And then we know that the next one's SummerSlam. So you have SummerSlam. So if you want to do Jimmy versus Roman, or like whoever would be the special guest referee, have them face Roman, and then have Roman win. Yeah, have Roman win.
I would say at this point in time, it would be. I think Jay's got already had his shot. I think if they're going to put it on anybody, it's going to be Jimmy. He was the first one to dissent from the. If he's going to, I think he should be the one going for the belt.
Well, this is where it leads because I say have Jimmy. Well, I think it should be Jay just so that like the first full circle thing.
Yeah, but I think it should be Jimmy because he hasn't had a shot yet. I think Jay.
Well, I say give him a shot. I say give him a shot and then have him lose, and then Jay is like, give me a shot.
Yeah, but he was the first one to leave.
Jimmy was the first. Well, Jay left way. Well, Jay would have Jay showed signs of dissent way earlier, like when they.
But the first one to leave officially was who?
Right, so Jimmy gets the first shot because he left. Because he left first, he gets the first shot.
Yeah, but I think you can play it that Jay
whichever order you want. The first Uso.
But I want Jimmy to win it. Like when he fights him at WrestleMania, I want him to win it.
They're not fighting at WrestleMania. They're not pulling that. They can't.
Of course
pull
they can.
that. They can't pull that.
Of course they can.
Dude, WrestleMania's in 10 months.
Okay.
You cannot make a 10-month thing.
Yeah, you can.
I don't. That's hard. That's really hard.
No, it's not.
You're insane. So this is my
over 3 years. They can't continue it.
Yeah, but this is a whole new story.
Exactly. It could go anywhere.
That's true.
You could have Jay go back to the bloodline.
But the thing is, the bloodline's already it's over. The bloodline is just Solo, Roman, and Paul Heyman.
Yeah, but what if dude, how many brothers they have? There's talk that they're bringing somebody else in. You can bring Rikishi back into this stuff.
I would like Rikishi to make an appearance.
The Rock hasn't even been introduced yet.
Because he's not coming back.
But he doesn't have to come back to wrestle.
He's never coming back.
But he doesn't have to come back to wrestle, but he can come back and be like, this is utter nonsense. Like, there's a lot of ways that this can go, dude.
Okay, you know what? You are right. But here's my pitch.
Now, is it going to? No, but...
Here's my pitch.
Well, who knows?
Jimmy and Jay versus Solo and Roman at Money in the Bank. Mm-hmm. Following that, at SummerSlam, you have one of the Usos fight Roman.
Okay.
And then we don't have any information after this, but we know that the next pay-per-view after SummerSlam is Payback in Pittsburgh.
Right.
So I don't know if they're gonna have a match there. Maybe Solo splits from Roman at this point.
Once you get to SummerSlam, right? Was that September? Oh, August.
August. Yeah, because Payback is in September.
All right, then you're 7 months away from WrestleMania.
Correct.
So 7 months you can. Okay, go keep continue.
Here's my thing. So at Payback, you skip. You don't have a match at Payback from the Bloodline.
Okay.
Maybe you have Solo fight someone for a mid-card belt. Maybe you have Solo fight Theory for the U.S. title.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Yep.
Hell in a Cell would theoretically be the next one because it's usually in October.
Okay.
That's when you have Jay or Jimmy versus Roman for the titles in Hell in a Cell with the other Uso as the special guest referee.
Okay.
That's my pitch.
Right.
And that's how you end that's how you end this story segment of the Bloodline. Maybe at Payback you have maybe by Payback, I mean that's a while away. Maybe Solo's out of the Bloodline and he fights Roman at Payback.
Oh, I think that's all gonna happen.
Roman is eventually gonna either just be with Paul Heyman and maybe even Paul Heyman leaves. I think Paul Heyman leaves as soon as he loses the title. I also think Roman takes like a year off.
Yes, I agree.
And comes back as a babyface.
Yeah. What?
And then following Hell in a Cell, and now you broke your table. Now you broke your chair. And then following that, I believe you also get a Survivor Series.
Yeah.
I believe you also do. Well, that's my prediction for just the end of the year. And then from Survivor Series, you don't get anything until Royal Rumble. and then it's Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania, Backlash, Night of Champions. We don't know the order from there.
Right.
So, yep, that is my guess for what's going to happen with the Bloodline.
Yeah, I really don't know what's going to happen. I think eventually you're going to get, one of the Usos fighting Roman, but
I think you eventually get both the Usos and Solo also fighting Roman at some point.
Yeah, we'll see.
Whether it's at WrestleMania or whether it's at, I don't know, on Raw one night. Following that, what do you think they're going to do with the whole, what do you think they're going to do with the whole Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Imperium storyline at Money in the Bank? Because you're going to have something come out of that story for Money in the Bank.
What you think they're
what do you think? Like whether it's Riddle versus Gunther for the Intercontinental titles, or it's Zayo versus Imperium, like Vinci and what's his name, Ludwig, Kaiser.
I think it's going to be. I don't know. If anything, I think it's the tag belts will.
I think that, but I also do think we're eventually getting Riddle versus Gunther. Maybe they save that for SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Well, SummerSlam is also a longer show. SummerSlam will be like 9-10 matches, and it's like 4 or 5 hours.
Right. It's a
It's a premium live event. It's a super premium.
It's one of the big four.
It is one of the big four. I barely think Survivor Series qualifies as a big four anymore. I think it's more Money in the Bank.
No, for me. Honestly,
well, objectively, the big four are supposed to be.
My personal opinion, I only think there's two super big events, and that's SummerSlam and WrestleMania. And I think the rest, are low. Lower.
I actually totally disagree with you. I think there are 4 big events, but the what's supposed to be like the core 4 are Royal Rumble,
right.
WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series.
Right.
That's like the proposed, like those are the big 4.
Right.
But I think that more realistically,
Survivor Series,
but it fell apart.
Survivor Series was initially supposed to be was teams against
teams.
Yes. And it got away from that.
Right. And I'm fine with it getting away from that, but the fact is that when it was just about brands, but you didn't actually have brands, that was the problem. Also, the 2 years that NXT was involved. Why?
Yeah, I just said my personal opinion. I just don't like that. I thought it was cool back in the day when you would when you had Hogan starting a team and the Macho Man had a team.
The last great Survivor Series was when it was Team Cena versus Team Authority, and Sting helped Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph Ziggler was eliminated 4 people.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of this Survivor. I'm just not. It's just not my.
I like Survivor Series, but it should I liked Survivor Series War Games last year, but I hope they don't do it again. I like Survivor Series War Games.
Say it right.
War Games. War Games.
Say it right. Christ.
Sorry. War Games.
War Games.
If they bring it up, you are gonna hate us. If they bring it back for another year, you're gonna hate us. I like that, but I don't like the War Games match as much as other people do.
Yeah.
I like the structure of a normal Survivor Series match more.
Yeah.
For storytelling purposes.
Yes. I agree. But again, I think it's kind of lost its. You just don't have you just don't have enough to make a 5-person team. You know what I'm saying? It's it just seems so thrown together and.
Well, that's what I mean. The last great one was the Authority versus Cena because they put those teams together and then Big Show switched sides.
Oh no! Yes, that worked. That's what I'm saying. It had a storyline. It's it wasn't just
and even with
two guys were walking past somebody on Raw in the backstage area, and they were like, "Hey, you want to be in Survivor Series with us?" It's stupid.
And yeah, that's kind of what they did with the women's match the last year too.
Yeah, it was just let's just get a bunch of people together. It's I have no vested interest in it. It's just
There has to be a story behind it for me to care. Is the thing.
So my thing is like I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Survivor Series, but that's just me.
I love Survivor Series, but I wish they would do it right.
Yeah, but it's hard. It's a hard concept to like. All of a sudden, you got to put together teams, and it's like they put together like
the way they did the teams for the men's match last year was perfect. The way they had it was the Brawling Brutes, and then they got Drew McIntyre and Riddle, and then it's like boom, you nailed it because it's like those are the people that are feuding with the bloodline right now.
Yeah.
Or no, it was McIntyre and like I think it was it RK Bro that they got with him, and then it was it was 5v5.
It was the Brawling Brutes.
The Brawling Brutes, so the 3 Brawling Brutes, Drew McIntyre. And Kevin Owens. It wasn't Matt Riddle, it was Kevin Owens. And then it was against the bloodline. That was perfect.
Oh yeah.
That was perfect.
No,
mainly because you already had one team together.
Right. But that was the only true Survivors. Like there wasn't another team match.
Well, there was the women's.
The women's run. Like I don't know. I just think it's.
I think you only need one Survivor Series match because if you have like 4 Survivor Series matches, it would take forever.
Yeah, or right.
Like it would just be like I'd rather have one Survivor Series match, 2 if you count the one men's Survivor Series match, 1 actual women's Survivor Series match, and then like do 3 other matches, and that's fine because the Survivor Series matches are long.
Yeah, I mean, and what they
also the Survivor Series match
what they
should
normally do is they'll take already a large group, so you'll probably see something like the OC with one other person teamed up against I don't know the LWO.
See, yeah, but like that's fine with me.
Yeah,
I like that.
Right, but that's what they do. It's like you got to or Judgment Day.
But like that's what I want. That's exactly what I want.
Right.
That's exactly like I want the OC against Judgment Day in an actual Survivor Series match, and like have them actually have a feud.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's what I want. So with Kevin Owens and Imperium, like I want, like if you can realistically, if you keep you can push that until Survivor Series, I think realistically, because if you already you assume Matt Riddle is going to be with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn,
yeah,
on their team because he's against Gunther and Kaiser and whoever as well,
right,
and Vinci. So you figure they get pull up Ilya Dragunov from NXT, have him join Imperium, and then. What do you keep going from there, and then you have 4 people, you have 3, you just need 2 more baby faces and 1 more heel.
Right.
And you can work from that. That's that's the problem. The problem is they just weren't doing any storylines. And last year it was great, but I just don't want it. I don't want it to be a War Games match. War Games.
And you don't have a bun in today.
Yeah, I do. Oh, it's a ponytail. Damn, it fell out. Whatever. Baldy in the ponytail.
Baldy in the tail.
Baldy in the tail.
Oh, that's not good.
Taldy in the tail.
Oh, my God.
All right. Thank you so much for watching Baldy in the Bun. This is episode 4. Thank you guys so much, and have a great night. We will be back before Money in the Bank to do our official predictions when the entire card is released, including...
And, any questions or anything? Type them in the...
Type them in the comments and we will react. Then we will answer your best questions.
All right, man.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Have a great rest of your day. This has been Baldy in the Bun. Good night.
Good night. Bye.